Good morning, everybody. MG here. MG Covers, bringing you a brand new sports handicapping video. Title of this video is Mastering the Art of Form. Form is a very undervalued situational angle in sports betting. In this video, we're going to talk about how to apply that to your models. Very educational video. This is applicable to any sport that you're looking to build a model for. We're going to show you why it's important and how it can take losses and convert them into wins. Before we do that, as always, if you're watching this video for the first time, greatly appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Got a ton of content on this channel, a lot of playlists. If you simply watch these videos that I have on my YouTube channel, you will improve at sports handicapping. If you want to follow me on social media, it's MG Covers, cover spelled with a Z. That's the same screen name on Twitter. Give out a ton of content there for free. So simply by subscribing and follow me on social media, you get a ton of value. So let's dive into this video. I'm going to give you two examples. We're going to look at a soccer example, but first we're going to look at a baseball example. Now, the first game we're going to look at, LA Angels and Cleveland Indians. This was, I said Indians, Guardians, from Sunday, May the 14th, so 2 days ago. Now, my model had LA Angels favored and had Cleveland as the underdog, and the model was incorrect. Cleveland actually won that game 4-3. So let's take a look at LA Angels. I'm going to give you some really solid information for those of you looking to build models. So this was the game in question here. So if we back up 10 games, and the reason I'm using 10 games, that's how many I use stats from the last 10 games for baseball. So that would be from May 13th all the way down to May the 3rd. Okay, so this was the game in question. So prior to that, they had won. If we go through this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. Okay, so the Angels had won 6 out of their last 10 games. And so if you were looking at form, you would say, well, the LA Angels are in good form because they've won. Prior to this game, they had won 6 out of their last 10 games. In reality, that's incorrect. And let's look at why. Okay, so yes, out of the last 10 games, they had won 6 out of 10. But look what happened just prior to that, this Cleveland game. Loss, win, loss, win, loss, loss. In their last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games, they had only won 2. And I've said this a lot on this channel. The best indication of future performance is most recent performance. So the problem with assessing form is you can't look at the last 10 games. What's most important are these last 5 games here, because these will be a better indication of what's going to happen in this game than the collection of the last 10 games. Okay? Now let me show you another example, and I'm going to give you a really solid tip on how to incorporate this into your model statistically. So that same day, let's go all the way down here to San Francisco, Arizona. Now, my model had San Francisco as favorites in this one against Arizona. And let's take a look at San Francisco. Same deal. This was the game in question, or the one. So we look at form the previous 10 games prior to that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So San Francisco had won 5 of their last 10. So they were in decent form. Won 5, lost 5. But look what happened. Again, same example. Look what happened prior to May, the game in question. Loss, loss, win, loss, win, loss, loss. Almost identical. They had lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They had only won 2 of their last 5 games prior to this game. So again, going back to that previous example, same exact concept, right? The best indication of future performance is this most recent form here. So now the dilemma for me is handicapping this game, you say, well, San Francisco is a favorite, but they were in bad form, so it was a no play. And that would be the same as this game up here, LA Angels and Cleveland. However, here is what I ended up doing with the model. Now, the model included stats from the last 10 games. So the change that I made, I'm only going to include stats from the last 7. So what that's going to do in this example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now it's only going to include the last 7 games. So it will weigh, there'll be a lot more weight put on these most recent games as opposed to incorporating the last 10 games. Now, I didn't want to do 5 because I felt like 5 was too small of a sample size. And if you go back to the examples here, by doing that, the model actually had Cleveland favored and LA Angels as the underdog. So that would have been a win using only the last 7 stats via the model. And the exact same thing with this game down here. So using the model, using the last 7 games of stats, the model had Arizona favored and San Francisco as the dog. So, and the reason doing it that way, incorporating it into the model, is you're not left with that dilemma where if you would use the last 10 games, then your model's going to show San Francisco the favorite, and then you would say, okay, they're in bad form, or maybe they're not in bad form. Are they going to revert back to their most recent form of winning? It takes all that subjectivity out of it. And then that way you can look at just a, quote, pure number, and it makes it a lot easier to pull the trigger. So now moving forward, the stat model for baseball is going to only include the last 7. Now, I did something very, very similar in soccer back probably, I think this is maybe last summer, August to September, somewhere around there, when I made changes to the model. I can't get into great detail how I did it because it would basically reveal how I'm calculating the model, but it was very similar in a way of calculating form. And just to show you how powerful it is to do it this way, this is a soccer model from 5/14, which was this weekend. And the way I'm handicapping soccer, and a very good way to know if your model's good, if you have favorites via your model that are underdogs at the books and they win. Not all the time, but 50% of the time, somewhere around there, very good indication, because if the books have a heavy favorite, you have them as a heavy favorite, maybe the Dodgers today, can't really say that's a good model. But when your stat model is showing underdogs winning, but their favorites via your line, you have something good. And basically what I want to show is I did sort of something similar as I did with baseball. I incorporated this into the soccer model, and then there's no subjectivity. I don't have to go back and look at form. I'm calculating form inside the model, if that makes sense. So take a look at Monza here. They were minus 120. Boom, they cash at plus 239. Scroll on down here, look at Claremont was minus 138. And the way I handicap soccer, we only focus on home favorites via my line that are dogs. Look at Claremont there. Boom, they cash plus 290. Brest right here was minus 220. And they were minus 108. Granted, they were favorites, but they were like plus 118. That line moved very strong in their favor. And let's go over here. Here was the big one from Series A right here. Home team minus 142. And, yep, look at this. They cashed as plus 378 dogs. And, yeah, that's it. So, no, we got one more. Go over here to Bundesliga. We had Union Berlin minus 267. Let's scroll over here. And so the point I want to make is that when I incorporated form into this model, it paid huge dividends, and it makes it easier to pull the trigger. And you can see there, Union Berlin, they're 4-2 over Freiburg there at minus 112. So if you don't have to do it you can try to find the sweet spot. For example, in NFL, I think I use the last 5 games, but I think this adjustment with baseball is going to help tremendously. And again, by putting form, I don't even have to handicap form because I'm only going to use the last 7 stats from the last 7 games. So in essence, I'm already incorporating form, so it's something that I don't have to handicap. Makes it very easy to pull the trigger. So hopefully this video helps, gives you some ideas for those of you wanting to create models. If you want access to these models, the lines every day for baseball as well as soccer, you get access for $50 a month. You also get access to all of my coaching videos, probably over 150 coaching videos on the website, only available to clients. If you want access to all my plays, in addition to everything else I mentioned, $100 a month. And the best value, you can get access to everything on the site. That includes all the lines for all sports, my plays. For 1 year, you save about $600 as opposed to paying monthly, $499 for the entire year. There's a link to join the description box. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.